hailstorms, violent winds, and landslides. Right Honourable Speaker, on the 16th of February and on the 3rd of March 2025, hailstorms ravaged the sub-counties and Revenge, particularly devastating the parishes of Renengo, Akarembe, Chiyanja, Katongo, and Kayonza, among others. A lot of crops were destroyed, banana plantations collapsed, schools and churches were blown off. Right Honourable Speaker, herewith is attached the detailed CAO's technical report full of details of the extent of the destruction. Right Honourable Speaker and members, my prayers. 1, we ask government to quickly get into the situation to avail relief items to the affected families and communities, including food, seeds for planting, and building materials. 2, that the government provides building materials to the affected schools and churches to get back to their normal operations. And 3, we ask the Office of the Prime Minister to put Buheju on its disaster radar, because such occurrences have become routine over the years. Right Honourable Speaker and members, I submit.
Thank you. Honourable Minister for Disaster Preparedness.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker, and I want to thank the colleague who has raised the issue. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to report that Honourable Abel Lilian, as we talk, is in Ibundibujo to assess the same, and tomorrow she'll be in Ibuhweju.
Thank you. Wow. Because I'm having many issues to do with the disaster. And you know, this is why I had requested last time the Minister for Disaster Preparedness to give us a plan, because we are coming to the rainy season. These issues will be coming very many. So let me just first handle those issues. Honourable Aisha Kabanda. Procedure, Honourable Semuju, first procedure.
Mr. Speaker, we have one of our colleagues, the woman MP for Soroti City, who, even as I speak to you, is still in prison. Because you are our leaders, I thought you will brief us the circumstances and the conditions of our colleague. But it also falls generally under the deteriorating human rights observance in the country. There has been a video of the Honorable Mwada crying like a baby the way he was beaten by a jet. But I don't want to go into the general issues. I thought, Mr. Speaker, you being our leader, you will let us know the conditions and circumstances under which our colleague ended up in prison because she was doing her work in our constituency.
Honourable, thank you for bringing that issue to my attention. Let me follow it up after the session. Thank you. Honourable Aisha.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity. Right Honourable Speaker, it's also a matter of national importance that needs urgent attention. On the 8th of March, the Women's Day, in my district, in a sub-county called Kalamba, particularly villages of Kakonge, Gerenge, and Sula, there was another hailstorm, strong one, that affected 250 families. Plantations were completely destroyed. 10 houses were demolished completely. People have nowhere to sleep. There are families that had stocked in new birds, poultry birds that were killed. Cattle were destroyed. I'm here to request the ministry, the minister, Prime Minister's office, and particularly Minister for Disaster Preparedness, to attend to my people. And for your information, my area has suffered such consequences 3 times in the past 2 years, because a lot of forests have been cleared around that area, so there's no covert or no windbreakers. Probably you also have to think about planting trees and reinstating the natural trees. The prayer particularly, Right Honourable Speaker, is to urgently help the families whose houses have been completely collapsed. Those are only 10 families. And also to help the 250 families to get food and also seeds for planting, because they have nothing now to survive on. I pray.
Thank you. PMO.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. And I want to thank the MP for reporting, and sorry for what happened. I'm going to report back to the office and we shall get back to you in writing.
Has the cow done the necessary, Honourable?
Right Honourable Speaker, this was over the weekend. I'm sure Monday maybe the disaster committee sat because they are aware, but I thought it was important that I update the minister. It's a matter that needs urgent attention because children have nowhere to sleep.
Yeah, sure.
Families have put up now tarpaulins as shelters. We shall get other disasters like diseases if we don't respond urgently.
So let's pursue it from two fronts, okay? Of the cow and team doing their work, but also now it's already to the attention
Most obliged.
of the OPM. Thank you. Honorable Kwizera Wagahungu.
Right Honourable Speaker, thank you very much. This matter is of national importance and relates to Kanyamateche Bridge, which connects Buchimbiri County to Chisoro District. A contract was signed and executed, and when they were almost finishing, the budget was cut by a shortfall of 900 million, which has caused the disaster because as a result the river has displaced over 1,000 people. My prayer is that the Minister of Finance should release the money that was withheld even against the certificates, because non-payment of the certificates has caused the disaster in the place. I thank you.
Honorable, you have a disaster, okay? And you know we have also a budget for emergency issues. Now it's an emergency. So Minister of Finance might release money, goes to works, but works doesn't consider part of your area as an urgent issue. Prayer, so that your bridge can be worked.
The specific prayer I'm praying that the contract should be executed in accordance to what was provided. It was supposed to be 2.1 billion. They released 1.2 billion and finance withheld 900 million. I would pray that Minister of Finance releases the balance of 900 million.
Thank
I
you.
so pray.
Neighbor Honorable Kwizera.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, first, finance does not withhold money. We manage your resources depending on the cash flows. When there is cash, we release. When there is no cash, we hold. However, Right Honourable Speaker, I have good news for Honourable Kwizera and also our other contractors who fall in this category, that in the supplementary I am about to lay, there is a provision that will take care of some of those outstanding obligations so that our contractors are able to complete the work which has been outstanding for some time.
Thank you. Honorable Nabu Kenya.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I rise on a matter of national importance in regards to power outage. Right Honourable Speaker, Luel has spent like 1.5 months without power. It comes for like 6 hours or 2 hours and it goes regularly. On Sunday, I was in Camera with the Bishop of Kasana-Luel Diocese and he asked me what is the problem? What are we supposed to do? Because we can't run business on generators. We cannot run health facilities, they have vaccines, they have specific medicines that require to be in the fridges, but we don't have power. And it has been continuous. Even if there's maintenance going on, it can't go on for like 4 days a week, then it returns for 2 hours, then it goes off. Right, Honorable Speaker? Electricity is not free. We pay for it. But Umeme has failed to give us electricity, and that's bad business because it's not free. We cannot be demanding for a service that we pay for. They should make sure that we have electricity. Right, Honorable Speaker, my prayer is that through you, the minister should direct Umeme if there are problems to work on them so that Luwel district can also be able to access electricity.
Thank you. Honorable Minister for Energy.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. And I want to thank my MP for having raised this important matter. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, we are going through the tail end of the concession of Umeme. Actually, the concession ended on the 28th of February. We are now in the transition period. Before that, government decided not to invest more into Umeme. So Umeme reduced on the investment. That means that we can't respond spontaneously to answer for calls of power outages, which could be a cause of a failure in a transformer or a breakup of a line because a tree has fallen on the line. But I want to promise you that by 1st of April, we would have gone through this. And hold on, please. And the loan that is before Parliament, which has money, which is the capex for the successor company, UEDCL, will help us a great deal to prepare Uganda Electricity Distribution Company to be ready to respond spontaneously without going through the rigors of applying for money, which could take a long time. So this is going to be a short-time inconvenience, and I would like members and the country at large to bear with us. I will cross-check further to the places of Camilla to find out whether there is any other cause other than what I have explained so that we can try to come up and rectify.
Thank
I
you.
beg to submit.
Thank you. Honorable Nelson Okero. Honorable Nelson Okero.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, my matter of urgent and national importance is on the close of Karumba Bridge. Right Honourable Speaker, allow me begin by thanking your good office for the wise ruling during the parliamentary sitting, the regional sitting in Gulu, where you directed for immediate repair of Karumba Bridge.
Just wait. I saw the Minister for Works around. He was, okay, great. Yeah, so continue.
Yeah, thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. During that sitting, works immediately commenced, and Karumba Bridge was handed over partially in December to allow movements of light vehicles and buses, but leaving out some critical works, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, in lieu to the above means of works, has announced a second closure of Karumba Bridge, which should have taken place by yesterday, 10th, 2020, March 2025. Right Honourable Speaker, as a result of this closure, traffic, because of the closure, will now massively be diverted to use now Renkunye Masinde Apache route. And as I talk, right on speaker, we are really at risk because now the workers at the ferry. Yeah, right on speaker, thank you. There is really high job security for the operators at Masini Port Ferry, which hangs in balance. Initially, operators were being
Honorable,
paid.
can you give your prayers, please?
Yes, thank you, right on
You
speaker.
came with a statement. I can see you're struggling with the big
Yeah, I wanted
prayers.
to give narrative.
No.
Yes.
Prayers, Honorable.
Thank you, right on speaker. My prayers are this. Number one, right on speaker, because of the increase in the number of vehicles. One, Minister of Public Service advertised for the position of these operators, which are
Just conclude your prayers. Conclude your prayers, Honorable. Switch on, kindly. Switch on.
Thank you, right on speaker. My prayers, number one, Minister of Public Service should immediately effect and consider reviewing of payments of the operators, including other ferry management team. Because at the moment they advertised and they have given them only a payment salary of 240,000 shilling. And 240,000 shilling, right on speaker, is nothing. It's like 4,000, 8,000 shillings per day. Right on speaker, a ferry, which, a ferry which takes 10 vehicles, right on speaker, costs 9 billion shillings, right on speaker.
So, honorable colleagues, Honorable Nelson takes long to finish. Yes. So just let's, to finish his points, I can see some of you who are perverted. To finish his point.
Yes.
So,
secondly,
please.
right on speaker, Means of Work should pay the 2 months salary, because now for the last 2 months, these workers were given a contract for 3 months, but they have not been paid for January and February, right on speaker. Then finally, right on speaker, Means of Public Service should show cause as to why they have not shortlisted the ferry operators, because only 5 they advertised and only 5 workers have been shortlisted, right on the speaker. Yet they qualified. They have been working under UNRWA, but now only 5 have been shortlisted. Why? Public Service should show cause. I thank you, right on the speaker.
Thank you. Thank you. Honorable Minister for Works. Then after Works, Public Service will have to show cause.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. It is true there is a notice that Karuma Bridge was supposed to be closed by yesterday. The reason for the closure, the first phase, we worked on some spans which could accommodate the light vehicles, and now we got funds to fix the remaining span so that we open the bridge fully. And why we didn't close it yesterday, we want to avoid the past mistake when we closed it and we had issues on Masindi Port. Our ferry for Masindi Port is down, and we had also few challenges because we had not accessed UNRWA money, but by now we have accessed it. So the tentative date is 17th of this month. We anticipate by that time we shall have enough manpower to handle the passengers via Port Masindi. We are doing that not to punish you, but to ensure the bridge is open fully to all vehicles. That's the short-term intervention which we have. Then the longer term, on 20th of this month, the JICA, we are signing a contract with them. They gave us a grant to reconstruct that bridge. Then the issue, since public service is here, we very well know the bill was assented to, and these people had no work. So as Ministry of Works through Public Service, we had to call them back on contract. And when we gave them a contract, it stipulated the salary which they are supposed to earn according to public service standing orders. So there's no we could go beyond the 240 you're talking about. We pay them the 4 million which should have been, because the other side they were being on a contract which the contract expired. So for them, we gave them a contract depending on a directive and the guidance from the constitution through the public service. But we have paid them their salary. Maybe if public service advises, we can increase it depending maybe on which law, I don't know. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but Honorable Minister, this weekend, I think my phone was flooded from those workers of ferries, and I even took time and I called you over the same. Because, you see, this issue of RAPEX, how it's being handled on the implementation, Honorable Minister for Public Service, they are not putting into special consideration of some of these technical jobs which were being done. To renew a certificate, and I received information which I shared with the minister, to renew a certificate, these workers told me that they require 25 to 30 million. Now, you pay him money which in a year won't renew won't facilitate renewal of a license. So I think before saying that entities like you now we are paying too much money, you should have asked yourself why. Because there are unique situations. Now, these people, if they decide to abandon you because they won't even be able to renew their licenses, then you won't have ferry operators. And I heard you saying that they had no jobs. No. You can also say you had no operators. Yes, you also had no operators. If they were to go off, how would you? They can go and be surviving on other things, but will you have operators to operate these ferries? So this is an issue, Honourable Minister for Public Service. I don't know how you're looking into this issue. Because then you're also having very many issues to do with RAPEX, Honourable Minister, especially staff whom you assured us when we are doing the job here. You said they are going to be integrated, doing what? You have changed everything. People are on the streets. People are crying. They are looking at Parliament as evil. You know? Honourable Minister for Public Service. Honourable Kerry, you wanted to add on something? Let me just, Honourable Minister, allow me, it seems an MP from the island.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, the question of ferry workers cuts across all the UNRWA ferries, like the ones in Namayingo, in Buvuma, and other parts of the country. Rightly, as you have stated, Right Honourable Speaker, it takes time to train a ferry operator, and much of it is outside the country. So when these people come here, and now the Honourable Minister is saying he's going to pay 240. Rightly, it takes between 20 and 40 million for these people to renew seafarers' license. And then even the training, specialized training. It is not that anybody can pilot a ferry. It is not. It is training that really is classified.
Point of order? Seems there is no order in the House. Colleague wants...
Mr. Speaker, when we are here presenting challenges that the country was about to encounter, our colleagues went for a caucus, they came here, they just supported everything, including him. Now they are crying. Is he in order to begin crying? When after a caucus meeting they came here and supported every RAPEX bill, is he in order?
Thank you. Honourable colleague, I remember the colleagues here had issues which they raised, and the ministers responded to them. They were given assurances. Okay? Now, his issue is that the assurances which were given are not being implemented. So the member is in order to raise this issue.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for that wise ruling, as usual. Right Honorable Speaker, I also want to urge the Minister of Public Service that there are people who do jobs that are specialized, especially the ferry pilots and drivers. So a consideration should be taken when we are giving these allowances and salaries. That is my prayer.
Thank you. Honourable Minister for Public Service.
Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, I quite appreciate the anguish and the concern of the Honourable Members who use ferry services because the services are not operating well due to our RAPEX. Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, you realize that we are still under a transition period and that it's only just a few weeks, I must say, that a few weeks that most of the money we need was actually transferred to the various votes. Right Honourable Speaker, when we were discussing this matter, the RAPEX committee agreed that ferry operators and the people who run our graders in local government and so on, and the mechanics be treated as scientists. What does that mean? It means that the public service pay scale of U8 will not now apply to them, because these are technical people. They are well schooled in their field of operation. They are now being considered as scientists. Therefore, it's going to go up so that they are better motivated to work. And when they work, they don't actually even spoil our machinery, because the machinery actually is very, very expensive. So we are, Right Honourable Speaker, in close discussion with the Minister of Finance. We are looking at the savings, which definitely we are going to incur, and those savings we are going to have are certainly going into raising the salary of the ferry operators. Thank you.
Yes, I had a procedure matter. Then Honourable Byanyima, Honourable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My procedure matter goes to both ministers, the one for energy and the public service. You see, Mr. Speaker, where there is no crossing of human being on the lakes they use are the ferries. There is no remedy at all. You can justify to this parliament that you are still ongoing when people are supposed to cross a lake using a ferry or a river are not moving. And that's why, Mr. Speaker, when I was doing my procedure matter, was yet still the Minister of Energy, that the transition from Umeme to Minister of Energy is not known by Parliament. We will get a number of matters of national importance here relating to power breakage everywhere. Transition of these departments to mother ministries are supposed to be taking place, whereas citizens of Uganda are enjoying benefits as they were before. So the procedure matter I want to raise, whether it wouldn't be procedure okay for the Minister of Energy to bring a full statement here, how they are transiting from Umeme, which has been making losses throughout since inception, to now, so that we know what exactly will happen. Because, Mr. Speaker, even us in Kalungu, Masaka area, power is off every day. And during peak hours, when people want to cut hair, who want to prepare food, there's no power. But I want to inform Minister of Public Service, kindly, you cannot come before this parliament and tell us that RAPEX is stopping people using ferries to go to their islands. That is very irregular, and you deserve a punishment before this House by the Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I wish I had that power. No, honourable colleagues, I think that's it's right. The issue of the transition from Umeme to UEDCR, it's something which we need to be informed about. I think that's very, very critical. So I will request the Minister for Energy to bring a statement next week. No, when we come from recess. and we handle it. But also for the record, because we are a house of record, I've heard Honorable Seung saying Umeme has been making losses from the beginning. Umeme has been one of the most profitable companies. Listed on the stock exchange, giving dividends, please. It's been listed on the stock exchange, giving dividends. Okay? So, no, please, Honorable Seung. It's not an issue of debate, okay? Umeme's accounts are published in the open. We are giving them a return on investment of 20% for every coin. Honorable Seung, is that working to work? Thank you. Honorable Byanyima.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To me, I think Ugandans must be treated with dignity. Mururu Mukasa, Honorable Mururu Mukasa, a senior cadre of the movement and a senior citizen, he well knew that we are not in a transition. Not at all. This government is in full power, has already everything at its disposal. There was no point whatsoever, for example, to have machines packed, waiting for stock taking all over the country, a transition. What you need to do is to have some money so that roads are maintained as you put your whatever you want to put in place properly. You can't get the whole country at a standstill. I can tell you, look at the most of these roads maintenance. It is always monthly. But as we talk now, when I'm Mururu Mukasa, they are conducting interviews. People don't know where to go. No release of money. The money we're talking of release, money was released, but who? We wanted the beneficiaries to have got money. Whoever doesn't have a job, go and do something. Get this. But people are stuck. We have a crisis. I would love to see Ugandans treated, because you can't tell anybody that UNRWA went to work, Manya Roya went to this. No. They want a seamless service delivery. And we are here. We have no answers. We look fools before the people. So I would have wanted the ministers to come out and say, we are extremely sorry, but with effect from next week, things will be in order. That's what we want to hear. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Dur.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to thank and congratulate you on assuming the presidency of the SCP. Ever since you got elected, this is the first time I'm speaking. And I must say that I've also read that you will be the co-chair of the SCP-SEU. The good news is that now we can hold you at a higher standard by that elevation. Mr. Speaker, my training and the knowledge of how governments run is that I thought government is a very serious institution, like absolutely serious. That whenever I interact with government and I hear from them, I actually take them very seriously. But I must say that my experience here has taught me another lesson. And I can say that I can competently, I think that this side we can now run the government. When, Mr. Speaker, when the government, the minister proposed the RAFEX bills here, one of the things we are convinced is that when you pass this law, allow us a window, do not put the commencement date, because we need to go and prepare as and when we are ready. Then we shall issue the instrument operationalizing the law. And now we are here in government in a very casual and unserious manner, tell us that we got lost along the way. And then we found ourselves in the transition. These are things within your control. If you are not ready, let them continue. No one from our side had said, UNRWA must stop today and transit. No one said that. So if you are not ready, my proposal, because I've also received communication, it makes me reflect back how some of our parents, and I hope many of your parents, when the retrenchment policy took place, many of our parents suffered, as if it was a deliberate ploy that time to patch some people out of holding some offices. Now, you remove people who are in UNRWA, advertise their jobs, and then refuse even to shortlist them. Then you see other people who do not have even experience are the ones being.
Honorable Jonathan, please.
I humbly take, the Women's Day has just happened. Let me allow a woman to give information.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to inform the current speaker on the floor. We did very well from the caucus, but the problem now, when we came in the house to settle issues, they walked out. How can you expect those things to come? Now you're crying. If you had not walked out, everything was going to be smooth. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. For the record,
order, honorable colleagues, order.
For the record, Honorable Christina Kelly is my counterpart from Erute North. I don't want to spoil her mood of celebrating the Women's Day. The point I am making, Mr. Speaker, is that the government can review. No one is pushing you to implement this law as it is. If you are not ready, please, you hold on. But the number of people who are complaining, if we give them time, who have been unfairly left out of this whatever transition, is alarming. That you had assured us here that you transit some of those staff into the mainstream, and now they see their names are missing. Mr. Speaker, if it pleases you, a select committee or a committee of this House should re-examine all these matters together and report. Otherwise, we are headed for a disaster. And every week, we shall be entertaining the same matters here. So that the government, we can interact and find a middle ground that facilitates both the government to do its work, but also ensures that the people we represent are happy about this service. I beg to submit, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Jonathan. You know, colleagues, you receive calls and messages which are very painful. They got people who did their job very well. Now when they reach the other side, we want to give it to scientists. Like in UNRWA, people who are not scientists, who have remained with jobs, I think you cannot, you can just count a few. And these are people who have been working really hard, but it was as if the scheme has been designed to eliminate all of them, you know, and they are coming to us. They are coming to us. Honourable Minister, I know you can shake your head, but it's painful. It's painful because when we are engaging these people, we counted on your word. We counted on your word. But honourable colleagues, a select committee at this stage also is not helpful because it will also take a very long time. What I propose would be that the minister brings a statement, a full statement, okay, on giving us an update on implementation of RAPEX, clearly showing especially recruitment as its own section, okay? This, because there is a statement to each honourable minister you brought, but we had said we should update it and strengthen it. I need the minister's attention, please, when the speaker is talking to him. The honourable minister, I don't know if you could update that statement, okay? We look at recruitment, we look at other challenges, because you will find challenges. Some of them are budgetary in nature, you need our support. Some of them, there are lacunas in the law, you need our support. And we work out together, because in the end, we are accountable to the people. So, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me. I had actually wanted to come in that the minister should come up with a comprehensive status report. It should not only mention the recruitment process, but also the status of service delivery for each entity that was rationalized. For example, you should tell us if UNRWA was looking after this so many kilometers of roads, how are they now? For electricity, what is the situation? So that we now get a comprehensive picture to enable us answer questions from our various constituencies.
Honourable Minister, let the minister answer, and then we can see if we can.
Right Honourable Speaker, I recall my ministry made a statement here about the status of RAPEX. All I can promise, Right Honourable Speaker, is that we shall bring an update of that status, what's been done in RAPEX, especially the recruitment process, and then we see where Parliament can actually work together, join hands, and see how we can improve the process and remove this anguish which is there. But before I sit down, Right Honourable Speaker, once again, I would like to assure you about my word. What is now so far painful is very soon going to go away, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. Let's take our senior leader by his word. Okay? Let's take him by his word. Next item. Oh, no, let me pick final one was Honorable Megade, sorry. Yes, sorry. Honorable Megade. Honorable colleagues, there are colleagues who have brought matters that are pending before committees. Like Honorable Tarayo issues pending before a committee. So these are issues which Rule 80 cannot allow me to be bringing on the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, for the last 2 months, I've been raising issues to do with piracy on the lake. And the Defense and Internal Affairs have undertaken to handle this. Nothing has happened. People continue to lose property in form of boat engines. Some were hacked. But Right Honourable Speaker, last week I visited my constituency and I established that Marine Police, that's Marine Police under Internal Affairs, and there are 2 detaches, one at Libu Island and another one at Samba Island. The one at Libu is headed by a one Okero Tone, and the one at Samba is headed by a one Komakech. So what they do is that they go on the deep waters, deep in the lake, especially bordering Kenya and Tanzania, and these marine officers confiscate fish from Ugandans and the Kenyans and some from Tanzanians. So the Tanzanians come back to revenge, and the Ugandans at times hacking them and at times ordering them to drop their boat engines in the lake as a matter of revenge. So, Right Honourable Speaker, my prayer is one, some of our people have started relocating from deep islands, and so the prayer is one, the Minister of Internal Affairs to come to this Parliament and not only to mention about it, but to bring a statement as for the status of security in the Buvuma Islands and specifically Lyabana Town Council as far as fisheries is concerned. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. The Minister will be required to bring a statement. I'll give a date after consulting on when we shall be resuming. Thank you. Next item.
Item 3 on the order paper, urgent question, raised by the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development.
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I wish to inform the House that these urgent questions go as far back as August last year. All of them have since been overtaken by events. However, I wish to lay on the table the action which was taken by the Ministry in response to the questions which were raised then. I beg to lay, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Minister, these questions, Rule 45, Sub-Rule 4, says a minister shall not take more than 2 weeks to respond to a question from a member. These are questions for oral answer. The question is for oral answer. So I request next time, because I can see here we received the response on 24th of February 2025. So next time we shall coordinate with you clerk's office to ensure that we do better. Next item.
Item 4 on the order paper, laying of papers. Supplementary schedule.
Yes, let me first get a point of procedure.
Yeah, thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. And the Right Honourable Speaker received my belated congratulatory message upon the ascendance of that much sought chair of the SCP EU. Mr. Speaker, the Minister has not dispensed just to the belated response to the urgent questions. Let though he is to make a response, it would have been procedurally much better if he took us through, because I see the list is well summarized. And I've noticed particularly the other urgent question which was raised among a raft of those questions, which is dodging deliberately to mention, was on the housing and the census population concerns which were raised. And he made an undertaking. In fact, the ministry committed to bring to this house, to furnish this house with a comprehensive report on the irregularities and gaps that were glaring in the report that was given by you boss. The Speaker, is indeed procedurally proper for him to take us through and even give reasons as to why he failed, or he failed to comply, or he was adamantly defiant to your directions, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you. Honourable colleagues, Honourable Msasses has been very cooperative. I think he has been trying his level best, has worked very, very closely with us here on the floor. I read through the answer. Indeed, most of these reports are reports which they've already submitted here and all that. Maybe what I'm going to do, I will request that the clerk, that they are published, okay? That they are uploaded, the answers and the questions are uploaded on the system for the benefit of members. Thank you. Next item.
Item 4 on the order paper, laying of papers. Supplementary schedule for financial year 2024-25, schedule number 3.
Honourable Minister for Finance.
Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, pursuant to Section 24 of the Public Finance Management Act, Cap 171, which states that the total supplementary expenditure that requires additional resources over and above what is approved by Parliament shall not exceed 3% of the total approved budget for that financial year without approval of Parliament. And whereas funds are expended under subsection 1, supplementary estimates showing the sums spent shall be laid before Parliament within 4 months after the money is spent. Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to lay the supplementary expenditure schedule number 3 for financial year 2024-2025 amounting to Uganda shillings 4.255 trillion to cater for government commitments and obligations, which include the following critical expenditure requirements among others. 1, the outstanding certificates to road construction companies. 2, security-related expenditure under the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs and Uganda Police Force. 3. Africa Cup of Nations AFCON 2027 related expenditure for completion of Hoima Stadium, construction of Akibwa Stadium, training facilities, and operational expenses in the preparation for the African Cup of Nations 2027. I beg to lay Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Supplementary referred to Committee on Budget to be expeditiously handled and report back. These are some of the urgent issues that Honorable colleagues, I guided you before coming to see the Speaker here. You need his permission. So kindly, if you're near the Speaker, go back to your seat. Honorable colleagues, please chair budget, ensure it is urgently handled. And honorable colleagues, I forgot to inform you from the discussion we had here on Thursday, I followed up on the issue of the PET machine. And yes, and I tried my brother Msasiza had already gone to the constituency, but I managed to get his technical people. I was very happy they were already ahead of us. They have, in the core agenda, they provided 30 billion for the PET machine, but I reminded them that it is 62 billion, and honorable, your technical people committed and said they are going to work with you. They will be reporting to you to ensure that the balance is provided, because that's the most critical machine which will help us to detect cancer early before people go abroad when it's already ready. The cries of the Minister of Health here were very loud. And I hope we shall have all the 62 billion provide for that machine. Everyone is asking, going to Nairobi for the PET machine, going to Nairobi for the PET machine. I hope we can conclude this issue this coming financial year. Next.
Item 4A, Ministerial Policy Statements and Budget Estimates for Financial Year 2025-2026. 1. Office of the Prime Minister.
As the Minister responsible comes, colleagues in the public gallery, this afternoon we have students and staff of Christ the King Secondary School, crises in Chotea District. They are represented by Honorable Nantongo Fortunate Rose and Honorable Kwago John Paul. They've come to observe proceedings of this house. Please join me in welcoming them. Kindly stand up for recognition. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Honorable Minister for General Duties, Office of Prime Minister.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to Section 13 of the Public Finance Management Act 2015 as amended and Rule 146(1) of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, a ministerial policy statement for vote 003 of the Office of the Prime Minister for the financial year 2025-2026 be laid.
Thank you. Have you laid? Thank you. Yes, what's the statement stands referred to the Committee on Presidential Affairs.
4A2, Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Honourable Minister. Next.
Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives.
Honourable Minister. Yes, procedure, Honourable do. But Honourable Ministers, please, that's not a working table. Okay? That's not a working table. Please, I beg, Daddy. This is a table of parliament, a table of authority. Yes, Honourable do. Honourable Minister for Trade, wait a bit. Elder, wait a bit, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I could have made this issue at the end, but I wanted to raise it earlier so that you can guide us properly. Many times when these ministerial policy statements are laid here, except the membership of the committees, they are not accessible to the rest of Parliament. And yet, at the end of it all, each and every member of Parliament would like to follow it up. You don't find a soft copy, you cannot find a hard copy. So I wanted to beg your guidance at the opening of it all, how the members of Parliament are going to access copies of these documents for their processing. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So, Honourable Minister, there is a procedure matter. Sir, I need to guide the House. Thank you. No, yeah, Honourable Jonathan Odura, I agree with you. And I communicated on Thursday even, here on the floor. And I also communicated to the PSSD to inform accounting officers that they submit both hard and soft copies. Okay? So I have been informed that soft copies have been sent. So we are going to upload them on our Fresco system so that you can access them virtually. And please, Honourable Ministers, cross-check if there is any minister who has brought a hard copy without a soft copy, kindly avail us with a soft copy so that we can upload it on the system. Thank you. Yes, Honourable Minister for Trade.
Right Honourable Speaker, Members of Parliament, pursuant to Section 13 of the Public Finance Management Act 2015 as amended, and Rule 146(1) of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, that the Ministerial Policy Statement for Vote 015 B 2025-26 be laid of the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives 015, Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives 054, Uganda National Bureau of Standards 168, Uganda Free Zone and Export Promotion Authority 601-935, Local Government.
Have you read, Honourable Minister?
I beg to leave.
Thank you. Because you are begging to take back home. Thank you. The statement stands referred to the Committee on Trade and Tourism and Industry. Thank you.
Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development.
Honourable Minister. Yes, Honourable, you can speak from there. Yes, a colleague will help you. Procedure, Honourable Kwizera.
Thank you, Right Honourable.
But we have a special case with Honourable Asamo. She can't stand for long. Let her finish. You raise your procedure. Honourable Asamo. Honourable Pachuto, they've terminated your services. The minister has come herself.
This is the one you gave me.
Yes, and after I will request ministers, you take those documents off the table, you share among yourselves, you pick what belongs to you. Okay? So that we avoid standing on the table that long. Sergeant, also find for her equal opportunities.
Okay.
Okay? Also equal opportunities.
Okay.
Yeah, so that she doesn't come back. Keep moving around.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I wanted to assure this House that I'm very capable. Disability is not. But I want to thank the Speaker for his consideration, but I don't know why Honorable Kwizera was standing up. So, Right Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Section 13, Clause 13 of the Public Finance Management Act 2015 as amended, and Rule 14.1 of the Rules of Procedure and of Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, that a ministerial policy statement for vote 0118 for the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development for the financial year 2025-2026. I beg that we lay the municipal policy statement. I beg to lay.
Thank you. The statement stands referred to the Committee on Gender, Labour and Social Development for processing and reporting back.
Equal Opportunities Commission.
Right Honourable Minister.
Procedure.
Right Honourable Speaker, pursuant to Section 13 of the Public Service Management Act 2015 as amended, and Rule 14.1 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, the ministerial policy statement of vote 124 of the ministerial policy statement of Equal Opportunities Commission for the financial year 2024-2026 be laid. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. The statement stands referred to the Committee on Gender. Thank you. Honourable Kwizera.
Right Honourable Speaker, there is a fundamental issue for your guidance in this matter. In normal practice, when we are looking at the program-based budgeting, and then we are looking also sectoral committees, don't you think we should have harmonized such that when we are looking at program-based budgeting, we don't again use sectoral budgets? In the same way, when at the end of the RAPEX, we expected that the government would be restructured because these ministers are finding it very difficult to move from different committees answering for different committees. Don't you think there is a need for harmonization to make sure that when we are doing program-based budgeting, we also end with the committees where we have committees are corresponding? I thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Honourable, we discussed this issue extensively when we were handling the BFP. And I raised it myself because I gave an example when I found KCCA coming to 4 committees at once. We were going to physical infrastructure because of roads, going to education because of schools, going to health because of health centers, going to presidential affairs because of the operations as KCCA. And you remember also on this issue, when we referred it to the Committee on Rules, it reported back and said we needed first amend the PFMA. Okay? So, and the Attorney General came here and committed with the Minister of Finance that they are going to amend the PFMA to realign the whole process. The Attorney General called me and he told me that the draft bill was ready. So, but also at that time we agreed, honourable colleagues, that for the budgeting process of this financial year, okay, we handle it using the current law and the current laws. Then the one for the other financial year, we shall have already updated the law. And I hope Minister for Finance, you're already working on it together with the Attorney General. I don't know if you have any update for us, amending the PFMA so that we realign program-based budgeting with the law, and then we are able to amend our rules here. Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I take note of your concern and the House.
Yeah. Thank you. Next.
Office of the President.
Honourable Minister.
Right Honourable Speaker, pursuant to Section 13 of the Public Finance Management Act 2015 as amended, and Rule 146 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, that a ministerial policy statement for vote Office of the Presidency, vote 001, Office of the President, vote 002, State House, vote 23, Minister of Kampala, Capital City and Metropolitan Affairs, Vote 107, Uganda AIDS Commission. Vote 112, Directorate of Ethics and Integrity. Vote 158, Internal Security Organization. And vote 159, External Security Organization. I beg to lay.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. The statement stands referred to the Committee on Presidential Affairs.
Right, Honourable Speaker, in the same spirit, allow me to lay for vote 122, Kampala Capital City Authority. I beg to lay.
Yeah. Isn't that under Presidential Affairs? Yeah. So, they are all referred to the Committee on Presidential Affairs. Thank you. Thank you. Next.
Ministry of East African Community Affairs.
Honorable Semja, I thought you in Kawempe today.
Mr. Speaker, those who went there were severely beaten. The procedure issue I am raising, Mr. Speaker, I know it's very difficult to hold NRM to any standards. But whether there is a standard for these policy statements, because if you look at the one for the presidency, they look like they have just been taken to Nkuruma for binding. You look at the others, the committees like the one Honorable Nankabirwa is holding, it looks even before you read it. So do we have a standard so people can just traffic here anything and throw on the table, Mr. Speaker?
Thank you. Honorable colleagues, we have a standard on content, not on design cover. And we look for content and not beauty in this statement. Yeah. Honorable Minister. Honorable Semuju, Honorable Nankabirwa has appreciated your compliment. She said the first one.
Right, Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Section 13, Clause 13 of the Public Finance Management Act 2015 as amended, and Rule 146, Clause 1 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, that a ministerial policy statement for vote 021 of the Ministry of East African Community Affairs for the financial year 2025/2026 be laid, and hereby laid.
Thank you, Elder. The statement stands referred to the Committee on East African Community Affairs. And Honorable Magode Ekuya says they are the most well-designed statement. We appreciate Honorable Minister. Honorable Chofa should learn from you. Next.
Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities.
Honorable Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, pursuant to Section 13(3) of the Public Finance Management Act 2015 as amended, and Rule 1461 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, that a ministerial policy statement for vote 022 and 117 of the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities for the financial year 2025-2026 be laid.
Thank you. The statement stands referred to the Committee on Trade, Tourism and Industry.
Ministry of Local Government.
Honourable Minister.
Right Honourable Speaker, pursuant to Section 13 of the Public Finance Management Act 2015 as amended, and Rule 146 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, that a ministerial policy statement for votes 01 1 Ministry of Local Government, 147 of Local Government Finance Commission, and 601 to 935 of all local governments in Uganda for financial year 2025-26 be laid. I beg to lay, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. The statement stands referred to the Committee on Local Government.
Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs.
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable colleagues. As required and guided by the Public Finance 2015 and the rules of this House, issued on 13th of January 2025, this policy statement highlights the key half-year performance of 2024-2025, the planned outputs of 2025-2026 with their corresponding required financial resources, the annual and quarter work plans, and the challenges the ministry faces in implementing the plans. Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable members of this House, I beg to lay.
Thank you. Thank you, Honourable Minister. Commission stands referred to the statement stands referred to the Committee on Defence and Internal Affairs. Thank you.
Ministry of Public
I think colleagues you've seen how lawyers submit. Thank you. Yes.
Ministry of Public Service.
Honourable Minister.
Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable colleagues, in accordance with Section 1313 of the Public Finance Management Act 2015 as amended, and Section 4161 of the Rules of Procedure of the Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, the Ministry of Public Service has prepared the financial year ministerial policy statement 2025-2026, and the statement is aligned to the National Development Plan 4, Objective 5, which aims at strengthening good governance, security, and the role of state in development, the National Resistance Movement Manifesto, and the Public Sector Transformation Program Implementation Action Plan 2025-26 to 2029-30. Honourable Speaker and members, I hereby beg to lay to this august House the ministerial policy statement and budget estimates for the financial year 2025-26 for vote 005, Ministry of Public Service. I beg to lay.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. The statement stands referred to the Committee on Public Service and Local Government.
Ministry of Water and Environment.
Honourable Minister.
Right Honourable Speaker, Honourable colleagues, members of Parliament, pursuant to Section 1313 of the Public Finance Management Act 2015 as amended, and the Rule 1461 of the Rules of Procedure of the Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, that a ministerial policy statement for vote 019 of the Ministry of Water and Environment for the financial year 2025-2026 be laid. I beg to lay.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. The statement stands referred to the Committee on Environment and Natural Resources.
Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs.
Honourable Minister. Next.
Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries.
Honourable Minister, if the statement is not ready, you don't need to go on record. Okay? Yeah. You have a deadline of up to Thursday. Next.
The Inspectorate of Government.
Honourable Minister.
Right Honourable Speaker, pursuant to Section 13, Clause 13 of the Public Finance Management Act 2015 as amended, and Rule 146, Clause 1 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, that a ministerial policy statement for vote 103 of Inspectorate of Government for financial year 2025-2026 be laid. I beg to lay.
Thank you. The statement stands referred to the Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs.
Ministry of Health.
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable colleagues, in line with Section 13 of the Public Finance and Management Act 2015 as amended, and Rule 146, Clause 1 of the Rules of Procedure of this House, I beg to lay vote 1014 of the Ministry of Health for financial year 2025-26. Mr. Speaker, I also beg to lay the ministerial policy statement for the Uganda Cancer Institute, Uganda Heart Institute, National Medical Stores, Uganda Virus Research Institute, Health Service Commission, Uganda Blood Transfusion Services, all national referral hospitals, and all regional referral hospitals. I beg to lay.
Yeah, Honourable Minister, for the record, those are votes, not statements. You called them statements. Yeah, thank you. The policy statement stands referred to the Committee on Health. Next.
Parliamentary Commission.
No Commissioner. No, Minister of Finance is a Commissioner.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay on table the ministerial statement for vote 104 Parliamentary Commission for financial year 2025-2026. I beg to lay.
Thank you. The statement stands referred to the Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs.
Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development.
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker and colleagues, I beg to lay the ministerial policy statement for vote 008, Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development for financial year 2025-2026. I beg to lay.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. The statement stands referred to the Committee on Finance, Planning and Economic Development.
Ministry of Internal Affairs.
Mr. Speaker, I have just received notification from Minister of Internal Affairs that the statement will be ready tomorrow afternoon.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Ministry of Education and Sports.
Honourable Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker and dear colleagues, pursuant to Section 13 of the Public Finance Management Act of 2015 as amended, and the Rule 146 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, that a ministerial policy statement for vote 013, Ministry of Education and Sports Headquarters, vote 111, National Cultural Development Center, vote 128, Uganda National Examinations Board, vote 132, Education Service Commission, vote 164, National Council for Higher Education, vote 165, Uganda Business and Technical Examinations Board, vote 166, National Council of Sports, vote 301, Makerere University, vote 302, Mbarara University.
Why don't you refer to public universities? They are all covered.
Public universities for the financial year 2025-2026 be read. I submit, Right Honorable.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. The poster statement stands referred to the Committee on Education and Sports.
Office of the Auditor General.
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker and colleagues, I beg to lay on the table the ministerial policy statement for Office of the Auditor General, vote 131 for financial year 2025-2026. I beg to lay.
Thank you. Now, Honourable Minister, before I refer this statement, you know, the Auditor General is part of Parliament. He's an officer of Parliament. We were thinking his budget should be consolidated with that of Parliament, and they put a statement handled through the Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs. What should this be a matter we discuss out? Because he's an officer, he's part of Parliament, and he's been facing funding challenges and all that, and he's been crying out, saying, but I'm part of you. And then you push me the other side. Now I start roaming around. So, Honourable Minister, what would be your view on that?
Mr. Speaker, yes, it is true. Office of the Auditor General, or the Auditor General is a staff of Parliament under the National Audit Act of 2008. However, there are two things. One, in terms of governance, the Auditor General for budget and other policy matters, he has been reporting to the committee, reporting to Parliament through the Committee of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. And two, what we need to think about is that whereas the Auditor General is an office of Parliament, his operations are independent. The independence of the office of the Auditor General must be upheld.
So the independence is safe-regarded in finance. It can't be in Parliament.
We are not looking at finance. Auditor General does not report to us. Mr. Speaker, in this case, it means even Parliament, because I have just presented your ministerial policy statement.
As a commissioner.
But also, you are a vote.
No, but Honourable Minister, you understand my point is that parliamentary budget is a statutory, is a statutory budget. Honourable Boss wanted to comment on that because you have been running, you run the Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs for long. Yeah. I see ministers caucusing.
Yes, we are.
Tebasoma